Hello, and this is the Warpforge with a sort of new mini-series. I'm changing the title from Paint and Talk to 40k and Chill. So basically, like the previous video, I'm just going to be building or finishing off a project whilst having a beer, obviously. And I've got a list of what I'm going to talk about. So with this list, and in general this whole video, will be me just ranting and raving and monologuing and derailing and anecdoting, etc, etc, etc. Just me having a bit of Babylon. So yeah, so I may lose track at points because me trying to multitask is trying to ask a train to fly. Good comparison. Seemingly roughly impossible, but they try. So, without further ado, we'll do the first part. Disclaimer, this will have strong language in, so if you're easily offended, you might want to skip this video. I'll get out of the way. What am I working on? Well, I'm going to work on the new project. As you can see, these are Cataphrone breeches. Seriously, me and my friend end up calling them Borg because they end up looking like Borg with like the half machine faces and stuff like that, which leads up to the title or the name of this project, which I'm going to call the Dark Mechaniborg. I know, dun dun dun. I'll be talking about them in section 3. I feel like I have a rulebook here. In section 3, page 57 of 102, index 3.5. Oh dear. Just whack that fedora on, you know. But yeah, we are going to be doing stuff about the Dark Mechanicus. I am going to align them to the Night Lords. They are going to be painted like Night Lords affiliated Dark Mechanicum, and I'm going to talk about conversions and stuff and the background of my Techmagoses and stuff like that later. I'm going to pause this video because that cupboard door is really on my nerves, just being slightly wide open, so I'm going to pause. It's just nice to see everything flat and ordered like it should be. So, without further ado, we'll crack open the beer. Just Trooper Ale. Lovely job. And that's a bottle cap to save for the nuclear apocalypse. And so, Trooper Ale. Oh, that's the spot. So, section 1, or the first part of this, is me talking about the channel and what's basically coming up for it. I'll talk about 40k in a bit. I'll just talk about upcoming projects, as I've already been into the Dark Mechanicum already. We've got other stuff. For example, this Saturday I'm going to be ordering a few bits of War Machine because I've got a friend who really invested into War Machine with his K-Door. And it is a big army, it's nice and all that, but I've told him since like halfway through last year that I would get down on it constantly, and I haven't. So I thought, you know what, he's invested loads in that game. He wants to play that game more. I need to invest more because I like the force I play, which is Signar, Tesla Knights, and Tesla Knights. It's all anime-ish-esque. I like it. Sounds great. That's what I'm going to be doing. So, those are 2 fresh sprues, so I need to go down and grab the rest to finish off these Mechaniborg. What I'm doing really is getting the front plating for the Cataphrone breeches. Meanwhile, the word Cataphrone really sounds like Sabaton would make a song about that. I'm sorry. You can imagine like a whole riff dedicated to the word Cataphrone. Something along like, I don't know, Screaming Eagles or something like that. Where's the front chest? Oh, there it is. Hello, hello. So yeah, I'm going to be investing a bit more into War Machine and Hordes. Hopefully this means more project videos of different games. I'm looking forward to doing some stuff about that, because I'm going to get 2 boxes of Stormblade Infantry and Epic Striker 2. The one that's designed to be with those synergetically, because apparently from what I've heard, he's just a pinball. You charge him up, you pinball him down, assassinate. Which I don't know if that suits my playstyle, but again, I'm just gonna have to grab it by the horns like a bull in a china shop and just ride the wind. Really, I like the models. I want the force to be synergetic enough that they can compete at a certain level. So hopefully that should do. I've already got the jack that requires storm blades, one for the PNS 19 sword and small shield. Storm Knight it might be called. It's been a while since I've played War Machine and Hordes. But yeah, I've got that, and I want to start making a proper synergetic force with that. Because I've already sort of made a trencher list for Siege, Brisbane, and a lot of trenches. So I want to do... So that's the first part of what I wanted to get sort of done. I want to get on to the second part and do Signar's Storm Knights. Because I love Tesla Knights and I love that concept. Open that super glue. So, let's drop... That is War Machine and Hordes. Drop Zone Commander. I want to be investing a little bit more into that because there is an escalation league down across the road from where I live now, and I want to be starting mid-February. So I can't wait to get into that. I've already bought myself another starter set because I already had a starter set for like Christmas, and I bought myself the Alexander tank, which I'll get down off you now. It's an absolute monster. It really is. I mean, this tank is absolutely gorgeous. It's roughly nearly the size of the palm of my hand right now. It's just gorgeous. It is a gorgeous little model, and for 10mm, that is one of the best models I've seen for that scale. Just it's a hulking big tank with a big sodding gun on the end, and it goes bang. I mean, I've read the rules. It sounds like it's going to kill on all things. It is your command tank. It is your leader tank, and that's what a leader tank should look like, in my opinion. It's so gorgeous. I can't wait to start painting them. Especially that I'm going to be painting them as... I'm going to be painting them rusted and bolted and maybe a bit brown. I'm thinking just like a 10-bit layer, then just a wash of electric blue from Visual's Game Colour. Just thin it down so it becomes a wash and just wash it all over the place to show a lot of air grease, because these tanks from the background are meant to be 175 to 200 years old. I mean, so if you can imagine, they don't get refined because of the Scourge invasion, in which case they're all survivors, like post-apocalyptic survivors from an alien invasion. That's basically the mainframe of my army, the Resistance. So if you can imagine, they don't get refined very well because they don't have the factories to, because they're trying to survive. So again, they just weld and bolt whatever they can find, whatever they can scavenge onto these tanks so that they can still combat their aggressive oppressors, which are the Scourge. So I need to start building this guy. So apologies if I go a bit dark and silent. You're joking. Yep, that's fine. I've got to get the thing. Oh, there we go. Not as hard as I thought. So again, yeah, I'm hoping to redo the Resistance like that, but in addition I'm going to try and make a little bit of a reference to Firefly, because on each of my tanks I'm wanting to display the independent flag, which is a blue star in the middle. It's got a green background and 2 yellow stripes across in a horizontally, and that's behind the blue star but in front of the green background, just to show that they're brown coats, because why not? I mean, it looks good. I mean, if I show you these, this fire spray, I think they're called, so already the name's halfway there, or something like that. No, Lift Hawks they're called, sorry. But yeah, that keeps spinning. These look a little bit, I'm not saying they look totally like that, but they look a little bit like the Serenity ship, the Firefly class cruiser. So kind of want to be singing tales about Jane Cobb and, well, Jane Cobb's the guy in the tank, because, you know, big explosions and stuff like that. But, I've already got the front shielding, so that can go under there. That's the bottle cap. And we're going to the second shielding. Where's the second shieldy? Shield. Nope. Must have already done this sprue. I must have already done this sprue. Third sprue is... There we go. I found it. So yeah, I'm wanting to do them like independents from Firefly, because why not? It sounds cool. If I get the helicopters, which I do want the helicopters, I will want to throw in, what do you call them? Yes, I want to paint them all like Airwolf, because why not? Why not, eh? It would just look cool. And people would just go, ah, nostalgia. Everyone will recite tales about Airwolf. So, Airwolf helicopters, Firefly class cruisers, and Bronco tanks. Because why not? Oh, dearie me. So, that's what we're going to be doing Drop Zone. Star Wars Imperial Assault, there is a battle report coming away, where it's the Mercs versus the Empire. And that was an interesting game. I think, unfortunately, I think I've broken Mercs. What I usually do is I have 2 HK Assassin droid groups, 1 elite, 1 normal, 1 Boba Fett with explosive armaments, and 1 squad of normal Trandoshan hunters. And the tactics really are dead simple, but they've been so effective to the point where they decimate, because I keep underestimating the resiliency of Trandoshan hunters. They are more resilient than I think than they actually are. Sorry, no, maybe I said that wrong. Again, I'm trying to multitask. That's like trying to make a train to fly. But yeah. So that was that piece done. So yeah. It's usually that, and I usually underestimate the resiliency of Trandoshans because they do survive longer than a turn, which is great because when you're fighting Imperial Guardsmen left, right and centre, it is surprising that something actually survives after a turn. It really is, because those are combat monsters. Oh, another shield. Oh, sugar. Ah, I see what the problem lies. Hey. Great as can be. I didn't realise that plug wasn't on. Whoopsie daisies. So, I'm just clipping this off, obviously, because it's done. Would that be it? Yeah, this is the last one. Hey, faster than I imagined. Then we're off to the other Cataphren stuff. The last 2 Cataphrons. Because I've got 9 Cataphren breaches of torsion cannons. But yeah, Star Wars Imperial Assault Armada, I think unfortunately I've broken Mercs, but I'm willing to be proven wrong. I need to battle a Rebel Saboteur list because even with the errata now, apparently they're still highly competitive. So I need to see how that works out. But I think even with 6 models, the way you build your command deck, Mandalorian tactics, loads of repairs, everything's a hunter, so you go for the hunter cards, which are really, really, really dirty. Not as in, well, okay, yeah, they are a bit dirty as in dirty play, but I think that's part of the thematic and the narrative, because, you know, if you're fighting against the likes of Boba Fett and Mercs, you're not expecting a clean fight. So yeah, there is that. Aside for the Empire, because I haven't really enjoyed playing as the Rebels. Like, the closest I've got to enjoying them is the Han and Chewie combo, where you just have Han and Chewie than something else, but I don't know how to do that, really. I've tried experimenting. I need to experiment on just a 1v1, because the last time I tested something out was a 3-way battle, which kind of got trapped by the other 2 people just sandwiching us in. So, I don't know, I don't call that a fair test. Without meaning to sound like a dick there. Need another drink. Oh. And, yeah. Need to see 1v1 because I believe I'm onto something with Han Chewie and some Echo Base Troopers, because they're not too big, they're not too small. They're not solo 1v1 IRL kind of like ninja, no scoping, Call of Duty player base sort of characters, which is great because they shouldn't be. But they get around the map and they get around it fantastically with the environmental suits, ignoring difficult terrain, so you just waltz over whatever's stopping your path. I like them, I think they're great, and that's 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, yes, that's 7 Cataphren breaches done. I'm happy. So, on to the last 2. So, yeah, with the Empire though, I am enjoying using a lot of Stormtroopers. So it goes from sort of like middle average numbers to a lot of numbers, because what I usually do is Kayan Somos, Stormtroopers, Heavy Troopers, and then just focus all the cards on Troopers and Reinforcements and Squad Storms, activating them time and time again. I've fought Wookiee lists with that, and it's just, it really is about the positioning. If you can get maximum, you can get maximum efficiency from Stormtroopers, but it's a very steep learning curve, and it's very much a model placement thing, because the way line of sight works in Imperial Assault, if you get maximum efficiency out of the whole unit, you gotta place them very strategically. Once you've done that, and I've done that before, you just erase anything that they touch. You just focus fire. As long as you focus fire, you're in the okay. And Kayan does it very well, especially with Vader's Finest on like an elite Stormtrooper squad, which just fire up, move back, shoot again. Heavy Stormtroopers really deal damaging blows, but they're not something that will deal a massive amount of damage. They're something that you use as a scalpel to pick off units. Because what I've experienced and what I've went through my experience on Imperial Assault is the Stormtroopers, surprisingly enough, do more of the damage, but they can't finish off units without taking damage in return. That's where the Heavy Troopers come in, because the Heavy Troopers then pick off whatever's taking the brunt of the damage of the Stormtroopers. So yeah, that has been something that surprised me even. But I love playing the Stormtroopers because I like playing Vader and like playing Stormtroopers. I've tried Weiss, I haven't really enjoyed them. But it's quite funny because me and my flatmates, when we all play Empire, we all like the three big different heroes. I like Vader, a flatmate likes the Imperial Guard Royal Champion, and another friend loves General Weiss. So it's like, if we ever do Empire versus Empire, we're not really complaining because we already know like what we sort of want out of a list. Usually when I stick Vader, I usually try to go thematic. I tried going thematic once on a Hoth board, just to get my friend into a game down at my gaming area, and it was actually a pretty close game. But Chewie is such a monster. He really is, especially when you go debts repaid and Vader kills like a trooper and Chewie gets angry, moves, slam! Just headbutts Vader somewhere across the board because he can. That's seriously, Chewie. The hardest combo I've ever fought against the Rebels has been Chewie and Solo. So I have to thank my friend who opened me up to that route, especially when I figured out on my own that when you have Han and Chewie together, it's a rock solid combo, because Chewie gives Han extra block, and I think Han gives Chewie extra evade. So evade allows you to unlock special ability. Well, sorry. You get Surge, which allows you to unlock special abilities. Evade cancels that, so you don't get special abilities on your card. And block blocks damage. So it's a pair trade-off, but it gives you the incentive to keep them adjacent to each other, which is very thematic in like the Star Wars films, because when do you not see Han and Chewie fight, like split off? They never split off, they always stay close at hand because they're best buds and stuff. So yeah, hopefully should be seeing more. Hopefully we should be seeing more painted minis, because I really enjoyed painting the Royal Guard. But I think that's because like I knew instantly how to paint them. It was just, okay, undercoat black, base coat red, sepia wash, start raising all the raised areas in a lighter shade of reds, and then in certain areas where it's like the lightest and all that, or the light shining through, and then it's just like a steel base. Because, you know, Royal Guard were never seen in the films, I think, other than the, what would you call it, than the Death Star. And because of that, I just thought, you know what, make a thematic, they're on the Death Star, so I painted them like that. Oh, Tread tries to escape. You will never escape the gaze of the super glue, haha. So yeah, hopefully I should be seeing more paint minis, even if I am cautious about painting some of them, because, you know, I'm very cautious about painting Vader, because to me, I just want to get them right in the first time, because they are nice looking models. I mean, they are board game pieces in their own right. You're not going to win paint tournaments with them, but you can get some very nice looking minis from them. So I kind of want to give them justice and give them a good paint job, so that takes time. And I've got everything else to paint, like the Night Lords and stuff. Speaking of which, I'll go into about on 40k. So that's Star Wars Imperial Assault. We're now heading to Batman. Batman, I'll tell you right now, I live and breathe for that game. It's by far my most favourite game out of all the games I've played. I think it helps because it is the Batman IP. But it's Batman. The mechanics is simple and competitive. It's trying to take steps from Necromunda, where you're supposed to grow your force and stuff like that over a series of weeks, but you don't have campaign rules like that for Batman. Although I am making my own as we speak, so I'm just writing some quick things, just like to add on. Nothing too much, nothing too little. Something where you can just write down on your gang and stuff who's got who and what's got what and who's got this injury and stuff. But that's the highest amount of bookkeeping you're going to need. Okay, so we've got the tracks ready, so we go on to the next piece, which is this little Senator piece where you stick the torso of the murder servitor. I say murder servitor because I'm Dark Mechanicum. We put 2s in our binary. So yeah, because Techno Heresy. So yeah, I live and breathe for Batman. Currently, I've bought myself an entire Scarecrow gang, with the exception of the Minigun Brute. When I buy the Minigun Brute, I'm going to buy them both for Harley's Minigun Brute and the Minigun Gatling Brute. In addition, I'm not sure whether I want to do Harley yet, because yes, she is Joker's gang and I do have Joker's gang, but at the same time I'm not so sure, because the starter set looks alright. I'm not going to lie, it looks fine. But there's only one mini that I want out of that, and that's the Chainsaw Guy. People were expecting to say Harley there. Well, people were expecting for me to say Harley there, but no, Chainsaw Guy. I read his rules. I'm not a sort of rule guy, but I just saw, right, Crazy Clown Chainsaw, I want that meat force. Saw the rules, saw how much damage that thing does. No wonder it's about like $600. For those that don't know, Batman's point system is divided into 2 parts. You've got rep system, which is like your points, and then you've got a cash system, which is like all your upgrades and stuff. So this clown with the chainsaw, he comes at a certain reputation, and he comes with $600. Usually the average game is played about 300 to 350. So usually you'd have 300 rep and 1,000 cash, or 350 rep and 1,500 cash. So if you had that in an assault rifle, which also costs about $600, then that's $1,200. So again, that doesn't leave a lot for upgrades for your gang that you can get via the rulebook. But at the same time, it just looks so cool. But yeah, because currently I'm in a toss between that or Bane. Because I've already started a Bane's gang, sort of. I went for the full Blackgate Prisoner set 1 and 2, Dark Knight Rises Bane, then Merc set 1, or I think it's Merc set 1, where it's the guys with the Tom Mohawk with the ice picks, and then Ted Hunter with the shotgun. So yeah, can I glue this? Yes, no, yes. Let's try that again. Yes, we can glue it like that. So, yeah. So currently, right now, I love that game. I hope to be doing more Arkham Files, because you've seen the Wonderland gang. But currently, I'm waiting for my Freeze gang. Yes, I am the type of guy who goes and runs and raves and will never ever stop about Freeze gang. Seriously, nobody knows about Phase 2 of my expansion. Yeah. So that's going to be a thing, especially when they release Freeze Gang. You're going to see a lot of Freeze stuff. I'm literally just focusing all my efforts on a Freeze Gang. At that point, I wouldn't care about anything else. I would literally just be going, build, paint, because Mr. Freeze is my favourite character of the whole superhero genre. So, it only makes sense for us to do that. I love the character by far. To me, his suit, known as like Meta abilities, to me is the equivalent of a cryogenic Iron Man. I think that's awesome. And he's not that much of a dick as compared to Iron Man, to me. I know people will heavily debate about that, considering that he's a sociopath, but he's a sociopath for a reason. It's not like at the start of Iron Man 1 where Tony Stark broke him a tea, alright? Tony Stark's a massive dick in the beginning, let's be honest, and he's just because he is a dick because he's got too much money. And then he realises the error of his ways when he funds war, when he realises the terrorists have his weapons as well. So it's alright, but again, the difference between that and Freeze being a sociopath is because Freeze was somebody who tried to help society, and society spat him out. Basically, that's how I view it anyway, because when he's talking about cryogenics, especially in his childhood, when he froze people's pets, he couldn't understand why people had to die, or why pets had to die. And my own little theory is that Freeze always went into cryogenics to save and help people. It's why he froze his wife Nora. That's why the whole experiment for cryogenically freezing people. It's why he had this interest in cryogenics. It was to help and save people. That he didn't go into the business of cryogenics to make weapons of war. That was added on in certain various storylines throughout the DC universes. Some made him forced to use weapons, like in the Arkham series, and some of them, some of them were just because he needed to get back at Boyle. They weren't intended to be used as weaponry, but alas, poor Yorick. But again, I think Freeze is my favourite character, and you will see a lot more content on him. Hopefully we should be seeing a lot more battle reports soon, since I have painted the one-line gang. It's just, it's trying to get games down, that's all. It's very hard to get games, because at the moment, people are still waiting for the favourite characters, which is why it frustrates us to no end when they release Catman. No offence, I mean, the scope's nice, and it's nice because there are people who wanted it, but there's people down at my gaming area who are waiting for like the likes of Man-Bat and other characters like that. And they've always said like they're not really going to go too much into Batman until they get these characters or till they get these gangs. So it kind of leaves me in the dark for a time, because I absolutely love the game, but I'm just having to wait for people, well, for Knight's models to release these models like Man-Bat and so that people actually have more of an incentive to play because they want to use the characters that they like, rather than the likes of Catman and Hawkgirl. Like I say, I'm not trying to be negative for the sake of being negative. It's just I would like to have games, but I'm just waiting all the time. It's just the nature of the beast at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's why we haven't got as much Batman content as I would like to. But hopefully that should soon change. We've got a whole year ahead of us. Hopefully we will have the models that people have been wanting for so long, such as Man-Bat and other stuff, and hopefully Team Arrow, because I know there's definitely a few people who definitely want CW's Green Arrow team. I'll be one of them if they did a Thea Queen model, especially as Speedy. I would totally buy that model and paint that up. That's a large incentive to start my first superhero gang. Take note, Knight's models. But yeah, other than that, I love the game, but at the moment I'm just painting the minis. Hopefully we should be getting more battle reports anyway soon, because come to think of it, I've introduced one of my flatmates to the game because he loves Batman as much as I do, and he loves, well, he's enjoying the game, he's asking for games, he's just waiting at the moment because we've got a Star Wars Imperial Assault tournament coming up, so we're going to enter that, enjoy ourselves, and after that, hopefully a lot more Batman stuff. I can't wait, because I love Batman so much. I love playing as Mad Hatter and just going, hats, spinning the hat. So yeah, you know what, may as well add the side parts on first. So, that was Batman. On to 40k, which is 40. Yeah, so I had to cut there because my phone was being, well, the camera was being a bit awkward, so on to 40k and chill. So, what's happening with 40k? Well, if I'm honest with you, my enthusiasm for 40k has died. And it's died because I just haven't had the steam for it. It's not the patience, it's just the tolerance for the game. I haven't been enjoying the game for a while. I mean, it doesn't help that I get the crappiest rolls sometimes. For example, and I have photo documentation of this on the Facebook page, which is on the banner of the home page for this channel on the YouTube part. When you roll 14 bolter shots and get 7 results of 1, not joking, I'm not shitting you, I shit you not. 7 results of 1 out of 14 dice. That's how crap my luck gets. Now, obviously, that is the nature of the beast. But when that's on a consistent level every game, you sort of get disheartened. Again, it's not the case of I'm angry about dice rolls and stuff. It's just one of those things that it gets really to the point. It gets annoying and I wouldn't say upsetting, but how would you phrase it? It doesn't get upsetting, but you just end up taking a massive sigh and just go, eh. So yeah, when your luck's that crap, it doesn't matter how much tactical precision you put in your thoughts and stuff. When that melter gun hits a flyer runt that hasn't got skyfire and then like rolls a 1 to wound, it sometimes gets a bit ridiculous and you just think about quitting the game early at times. But to my credit, I've never quit a game early so far with this current trend of luck that I've had. I've always stuck out to the end, but it just gets a bit annoying at times and it just leaves us disheartened. So yeah, there's that. But it's just the state of the game as well. At the moment, this game, to me, in 7th edition, is in transition. It's trying to transfer all the codexes from their current states, which is either the Force Organisation chart in a Combined Arms detachment, like the Chaos Marine Codex, and the Orc Codex at the moment, and it's trying to transfer them to a format like, what was it? Oh, pardon me. Like the Eldar Codex, like the Tau Codex, like the Necron Codex. And I'm not talking about just the Decurion here. There's other stuff, just formations in general and stuff. This game, to me, is in transition, and as we're not getting updates due to Age of Sigmar, which is totally understandable because they have a secondary game to support, and they are getting that support, but even when like half the world isn't really caring too much about it. But I can totally understand it. But as you're delaying the releases of 40k, as you're delaying the 40k releases, you start to see repetitive the second game movements. For example, the game has changed to a lot of formations and then the master formation types that you've got, and if you don't have those, then you're screwed to an extent, and that bores us, if I'm honest. Again, I play with Chaos Marines, which is the oldest codex now to date, and I play with Orcs, which people consider Orcs to be a joke, but I don't think they're a joke, but they are very limited to what they can do. And that to me is a joke in itself, when this is a game that promotes the variety of units and tries to forge a narrative as it keeps boasting about. It gets annoying when you start comparing units, or you get units compared to you, and suddenly like a lot of stuff that you pick is currently outclassed because this guy can have a formation which buffs him up somewhat and gives him this rule and for free. And it's at the point it's just like, has this turned into a game, or is this just like an arms race? Again, good on the people who have the formations, but for Orcs and Chaos Marines have just been left in the dirt. I'd say they're in a worse state than Orcs, and people will debate that point. And I say that because, as someone who's always wanted to do a Meganob force, and I've got 15 Meganobs, and I'm going to stick them all in trucks. The trick with Orcs now is Horde is dead. The way the game's played now, Horde is dead because the damage output from shooting is far more efficient and effective on massive units than it is on small units, from what I've seen. I mean, or even hard units to an extent. I mean, look at, for example, Eldar Guardians or Dire Avengers versus Squad Terminators. They've got the Blade Storm rule, and you know for a fact they're going to get guided and doomed. So that squad's going to get guided, and your Terminators are going to get doomed. Due to the amount of psychic levels that Eldar usually have, they've got to pull it off anyway. There's not very little you can do unless you've got a very lucky roll, or your opponent has invested that much power dice into the spells. So they're going to have twin linked to hit and shred, basically. And once they get those 6s for Blade Storm, that unit's been wiped off. And I'm talking through that through observations of other games, as well as experience from my own. So yeah, it's, again, the game to me has stopped feeling like a game of tactics and just who's got the most gimmicks, because it's a game in transition. Like I was getting back to the original point, the more you delay the releases, the more this debate, or the more this transition divisions or splits off like into two camps, where it's like you've got the codexes that need serious updating, like Chaos and Orcs and Dark Eldar to an extent, and Space Wolves, etc, etc. And then you've got the Space Marines, the Necrons, the Eldar, what was the last one? Tau Empire. And until that transition gets resolved, there is a certain gap in balance, and that's not healthy for the game, and that's sort of why I've shelved my Chaos, because it's got to the point with that and bad dice rolls, I just end up thinking, why bother playing this army at times? I love the Night Lords because I love the background, I love Kurz, I love Sevatar because they're both dicks, but they're honest and they know that they're dicks. And I love that sort of honesty. So yeah. Oh, we'll be filing that. Hello. So yeah. I've shelved them and I've started Dark Mechanicum because, truth be told, if this army was released when I first started back in 2007, I would have picked these up in a heartbeat. Because I love the idea of cyborgs, and I love the idea, and when I started properly reading into the background in 2008, I started reading about the Adeptus Mechanicus and the Skitarii and all the battle bots that they have, and I think, well, where are they on the table? You know, I mean, this looks like they have such potential. Why haven't they made like an army or a force for it? Or is this might be one of those skirmishy things that they don't actually do? So yeah, when they've released this, I was in total awe. I love the stuff that they've done for them. I really do. I think some of the stuff is gorgeous. Come on, super glue. Actually, no. That needs a bit more filing. So yeah. Going in from that, we'll go on to the second part, which is the Horus Heresy. Oh crap. Oh crap. And what does that mean? Well, I am going to start the Horus Heresy. A lot of people are jumping ship to that. I'm more than happy to jump ship to that because I've heard it's a lot better than 40k right now. Like I say, I'm not saying 40k is the worst game in existence. I'm just saying that for me it's a game in transition. Until that transition is completed, it's just, to me, not worth playing at the moment. So, that just needs to get put there, and I need another drink. Ooh, Tripper Ale. Hits in the right spot, I tell you that. But, yeah, just with Horus Heresy, I'm definitely doing Night Lords, because whatever I whack onto Horus Heresy, I can whack onto me Chaos Marines. For example, I have been building, like I say, this is a 5-man unit with combi melters that I'm going to drop pod, because I've always said I wanted a Chaos Marine force that used drop pods. Horus Heresy gives me that opportunity, really, because they are a traitor legion and I get drop pods. In addition, I get Contemptors, and I love Contemptors. They're one of my favourite models in 40k, especially the Night Lord ones. Those are just gorgeous works of beauty that I need to paint so badly. Just, oh, they are absolutely beautiful works. They really are. I just love how they've like used the skull helmet, the sort of really grisly gothic architecture as well that isn't full of skulls. Well, people could debate that, but not as in hyper-glorified like you see on the typical scenery from Age of Sigmar kind of skulls I'm talking about mount, like the over-top mount. But I love those Contemptors, so I basically said to myself, right, my list direction, right now, I want to be putting full effort into Contemptors, drop pods, and have a drop pod force. Throw them down in there, get into the dirt, get mucky, shoot some shit. And I can't wait to start that force because it's going to be the perfect way how I envision Night Lords, going right into the heart of the force, striking fear, which they can do against Marines because they don't have and they shall know no fear. And really, really dish out some punishment, especially Atramented Terminators. Can't wait to build 5 more of them because I've got 2 boxes of Betrayal Calth. I've made 1 box full of pairs of Lightning Claws. I'm going to make the second squad exactly the same. So 10 Terminator, Cataphractii Terminators with pairs of Lightning Claws. That to me screams, yes, I want to do that. And I cannot wait to do that. I think that's going to be absolutely beautiful and perfect. And I can't wait to get started on that. But at the moment I'm just waiting because I'm saving up, and once I get to it I'm buying 2 Contemptor Dreadnoughts with pairs of Power Fists or Dreadnought Plus Combat Weapons, whichever it is, with inbuilt one's going to have inbuilt melter guns, the other's going to have a pair of inbuilt heavy flamers, because like I say, whatever doubles from 30k doubles over to 40k. And in my area, if we're playing 40k, there's a lot of skimmers and a lot of open top transports. So obviously, naturally, strength 5 AP4 flamers against Xeno open top skimmers is going to do a lot of damage. And I mean a lot of damage. So I can't wait to start that. I think that's going to be so fun. Especially now, because I already have the Primarch Curs. I've been painting them up just very slowly because I want to take my time with Curs. I don't want to I don't want to fuck them up because it's Curs. I'm not going to get another opportunity to paint in that much detail again, if I'm honest, with a Primarch with such history and backlore, with more years than I am alive, than I've been alive kind of thing. Yeah, they do have a lot of backstory, and I want to give my Curs model justice. If we just super glue, because again, I can't multitask for shit. We glue. And I can't wait to get Sevatar, because Sevatar is again one of my favourite characters in 30k. Although, I hope I hope that Games Workshop pick up the hint and say, because I have seen a new income of Night Lords players. I've seen a lot of Night Lords players around where I play at and stuff, which is actually more interesting than I thought, because I didn't think Night Lords would be as popular as they actually were. I thought the likes of like Sons of Horus or Death Guard or Black Legion would be more popular than Night Lords, but alas, I am wrong, and I'm quite happy for it. So I kind of hope Games Workshop take up the hint and release a 40k Sevatar model. Oh, hang on. There we go. All super glued in. Well, I know I meant to use plastic glue, but plastic glue, it takes a while, and I'm a bit lazy, I'll be honest. Claw and a torsion cannon. That's exactly what I needed. He doesn't have his other side, so I'm going to have to find that later. So, with that, what would come up for that? I don't think there'll be many conversions, because it's still Legion as a starties. I'm not playing Word Bearers, so there's not really that many or any mutations among the Night Lords, since they really don't like Psychers or... Yeah, they really don't like Psychers or mutations, especially when Sevatar goes AWOL when a Word Bearer friend goes Galvor back on you. So, yeah. I don't think there's going to be that many conversions, but there will be like a few different poses than the generic I'm standing still and all this. List direction I've already talked about, because I've got a list just to try and stop us from tangenting too much, which I think I've already failed, but as long as you've enjoyed this talk. Battle reports, yes. Once I get everything painted up, which is going to take a while, trust us, but once I get everything painted up, which once I get the contemptors, they will. I'll be focusing on them once I get my contemptors. I'm going to hopefully have motivation to paint it all up. So with that, we'll be on to the third and I think final section, which I call the Dark Mechaniborg. This is about the project I'm currently building. So yes, what to build next on this? Go for the backpack, yeah. So, why did I choose the Dark Mechaniborg as opposed to the Adeptus Mechanicus? Well, I wanted them affiliated because I wanted to do all flavours of chaos. I hope to do in the future Traitor Guard from Renegades and Heretics. What I was planning on doing from them was to do like some sort of crew aboard the ship. So, sort of like cleansing out a space hull full of Gene Stealers kind of thing with them. But that's not going to be for a while since I've started this. And I'm happy for it, because I tried this with a game against a Space Marine player and I really enjoyed this the formation that I took, which was the Holy Requisitioner. Or I'm calling it the Unholy Requisitioner, because Dark Mechanicum. But if we glue this to this... Nope. You're not making that, are you? No, you're not. Find the flush. Hang on. Oh, no. I'm in the right. Hang on. I think got a hit. No. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So, let's not do this right now. Yeah, so, conversions. The style I want to go for conversions, because I've got a ton of... I got 3 squads of these and 2 Castellans. For the elimination from the elimination mantle box and a box of Cataphrone breaches. So I've got 9 sets of every weapon. I'm going to try and do a direction between Wolfenstein and Doom sort of S conversions. So 2 ideas I had was one idea for all the Grav weapons for the Cataphrone Destroyers, I believe they're called, was that we had... Oh, there's a torsion cannon. We'll build that now. Was that we had that, and I got a load of like paper clips, bent them into shape, then drill holes into the model and just stick them in like as wires, like as cable and wires and stuff like that. At the ends of the guns, what I was going to do was use me saw to cut a massive X into it. Put it, now this idea may fail because it's hard plastic and not resin, but give it a try. I'll learn from my mistakes, etc, etc. Put it into a hot kettle, wait a few minutes, then just with some tweezers peel slightly the plastic back a bit, then just ram in the grav cannon so it looks like it's something that's just morphed and opened up like an alien's, like one of the alien eggs and a facehugger pops out, kind of like that, and like you can see the grav cannon come out. So very Doom-esque. Another one was for the Plasma Cavaliers. I want to get Necron Canatep Wraiths. I want to do that Canatep Scorpion conversion where you saw the model in half, flip the lower torso of the Wraith where it slopes down, upside down, so it looks a bit more Scorpion-like. Stick the legs on, have the front two legs, because they're obviously bigger than the rest, to be looking into sort of like a defensive pose. And with the tail, where it starts to go loop to loop, cut it off where it is, then stick on the Plasma Cavalier. Then find some sort of random bits from Orc torsos to Chaos Marine torsos, and just cram them in using paperclip wires and possibly green stuff and all that. Then just, pardon me, stuck on a Catphron Destroyer head on the top, because I've got a load of spare heads now, because you've got two variants for the Breachers and Destroyers. And just have them as like murder servitors, just clanking around, Wolfenstein-esque kind of thing. So that was the direction I wanted to take, because you get a lot of freedom for Techno Heresy, I feel. You get a lot more variety and atmosphere with them as well. Should I talk about background? Well, list direction first. List direction really goes with the rumours. I started this force because I wanted something small from this force at the start, and it has grown slightly. Well, I say slightly. I got the mini formation starter set with the Skitarii and the Orange Doom Caller, so to Magos Dominius. So, with that is a little bit of flash there. Just gotta file it off. So with that, I'm going to wait for the Adeptus Mechanicus Codex. I'm going to buy units that I like the look of from the models. And then when hopefully this Adeptus Mechanicus Codex comes out with data cards, I'll buy it all in and start reading the Codex that way. Hopefully nothing should be changed, but hopefully I can include everything rather than just going add detachments here and there, or the ever popular War Convocation, which is the free points thing, and that annoys us slightly. But hey, that's just nature of the beast. I need that, and what else do I need? There's something hiding. Ah, right. I see. Yes, I definitely see. I see all. And I'm just going to check out, and that's the list direction, because the first idea I wanted for the Adeptus the Dark Mechaniborg, was that I wanted to do a Tech Magos with tons of Skitarii, because I love the idea of like all the march of these like machines, Terminator-esque kind of thing. I know that's the Necrons sort of style, but I just like love the idea of like these unfeeling, thinking people that have just ripped the humanity out of them and replaced it with artificial intelligence, basically, and just marching around blasting stuff with like radiation guns and massive rifles and stuff like that. The only criticism I have over the Adeptus Mechanicus Codex is that they don't have any close combat variant of Skitarii. For example, in the Light Nodes Omnibus, in the first novel, spoilers for those who haven't read it yet or want to start reading it, so you might want to skip this a little bit. But on the Battle of Cyrith and one of Abaddon's Black Crusades, you've got First Claw drop podded right into a force of Skitarii, and all these Skitarii have multifunctional limbs that just flail around and just cut and stab, but they don't sound like the BattleBot assassin things. they just sound like Skitarii with like augmented limbs for close combat and stuff like that have no fear and stuff like that. So, which was highly questioned upon First Claw as well. Like, shouldn't they be better at the guard lines? As their perspective was, because you know they inspire fear and all that, and hang bodies upside down with the corpses strewn across because they thought it was funny and all that. But oh, just getting this flash out. It's really annoying. But yeah, so getting down to the business of it, I'm just going to wait for the Adeptus Mechanicus Codex, and I'm then going to see what I have in mind out of that. So the background for this force is tying in with me Night Lords, because I said they were Night Lord affiliated. Zephyron, who is the main Techmagos, I call him Zephyron the Master of Puppets. Yes, that is an obvious reference to Metallica. Please rip me into that. I just love, because as soon as I saw the Warpsmith model, I just thought that looks like something from the song Master of Puppets, just all the little mecha tendrils as like a metaphor for strings and all that. I just thought that was my initial thoughts, and it continued with the Skitarii background and stuff like that. Even though the song is mainly about drugs and cocaine and stuff, and the devastating effect it has on people, you can still sort of apply it to the Skitarii and stuff about how it's one mind controlling regiments and massive legions of others, so to say, like an abusive drug, in a sense. Obviously we're going into a little bit of philosophy there, so that's a scary thought. We'll move away from that. But yeah, Zephyron willingly joined the Night Lords because he needed muscle. And Caraxus needed troops that were dispensable, but not guardsmen. Stuff that, well, troops that didn't know fear and had complete and utter compliance. That is the exchange they made. Zephyron, however, had his own code. He started dabbling with Techno-Heresy, and he had to lessen that down as he joined ties to the Legion in terms of dabbling with Demonica artifacts and all that, and all the warp stuff, because obviously the 8th Legion really don't do well with the whole demon aspect unless your warlord is a demon or a demon prince. So, yep. So he made his own scrap code that he called Borg code. That's why they're called Dark Mechaniborg, and yes, that is a Star Trek reference. I mean, the main reason why I've called them Dark Mechaniborg is because when we were talking about these and trying to learn how to pronounce the names, we ended up, me and my Space Marine friend decided just call them Borg because they look like it. Because, I mean, you know, they do sort of, without the tracks. Yes, you've got the Borg-esque look about them, which looks great, and you know that they would say in High Gothic, resistance is futile. So yeah, the Dark Mechaniborg. So yeah, he was making his own code called Borg code, and the idea of the Borg code was that it was like an artificial virus that could hack into the mainframes and wiring of the Skitarii. The idea that Zephyron had was minimum casualties, complete takeover rate, complete and utter compliance, which is why he gets the name in 40k in the background, Master of Puppets, because even among the Dark Mechanicum cult, Zephyron is renowned as a one who wants complete and utter control no matter what. Even amongst other Techmagoses, he wants to secretly control every living, squeezing out the juice out of them. Whether certain Techmagoses will be a bit more lax on the matter, he isn't. If there's an opportunity to be had, he must take it. It's not the fact that he wants to, it's just who he is, and he's a major, major character who just wants to just override and just have total control over everything. So he made the deal with the Night Lords to have muscle, because as much as statistics can provide, having demigods that battle impossible odds and still make it through, still, whilst a mystery to Zephyron because of him being a Tecmagos with all the statistics going through his head and all that, he knows that they will get the job done, and that's good extra muscle. In addition, the second phase of his Borg code is to take over the more organic matters, because the main problem he has currently with his Borg code is that he has the regiments of troops under his command that initially joined with him from the Heresy and his escape from the Heresy onwards, but when he tries to take over other Adeptus Mechanicus constructs, he does so for a time, but no matter how hard you do, or how hard you try, you still have the organic components that have emotion and willpower behind it, and so eventually they do resist against the Borg code, and the Borg code wears off. So what Zephron's trying to do is try to transfer something from artificial intelligence, something from the main works of all the gears and cogs, and spread it like a disease to the brain, or the, I don't know what the scientific word is for brain, or I think it's cardinal. No, that's major bullshit, sorry. But it just so that it takes over the suspect, well, the host completely. He's having trouble with that because he can't delve into demonic artifacts and stuff, but because the character of Zephron is, and the way I've built him, he does everything in the shadows when it comes to demonic artifacts. He does this away from the Legion, so to say. It's kind of like his secret basement of collection of demon artifacts sort of thing that he's got going on, to the point where it goes, where this sort of connection crosses, or this sort of ideology clashes with Caraxes, who is my main Chaos Warlord of me Night Lords, who gets mauled. The reason why I've got him modelled with as the aspiring champion, with all the tubing and all that, with the jump pack and the Axe of Blind Fury and the plasma pistol, is because at a point in his life he gets ripped apart by a Contemptor Dreadnought within the after the events of the Horus Heresy. This is just one rare living specimen, because Contemptors still do exist in 40k. And his last his last orders were, if he should be incarcerated or if he's near death, stick him in Contemptor armour, because he knows that Contemptor armour is a lot more powerful than Dreadnought armour, and he can still sort of act as a general, as he thought, to his Legion. And his Legion, he knew, needed a leader should circumstances be that dire at all. However, Zephron does spot him lying half dead, and the way Zephron is, he sees that as an opening opportunity. He tries to demonify and just stick loads of demon bits in, kidnaps him away from the Legion, sticks him in his own private experimental chambers, and just sticks loads of demon crap right into his system, because what he's trying to do is trying to apply his Borg code to a living Chaos, to a living Astartes members. So yeah, that's insane. Even among Dark Magos standards, people, they even class his experiments and projects as insane, especially considering the fact that he is a Chaos Lord, never mind any other Astartes. So, after he does his experiments, Caraxes finds himself not in Contemptor armour. He gets hugely displeased, and that's an understatement, with Zephron. They don't actually fight, because Zephron does have a certain control over Caraxes after that. He's linked his neural mind and neural sensory sensors to Caraxes's to have control over using the Borg code. Thing is, with the Chaos Lord being a proud defender of whatever ideology he has. Sorry about that, phone again, went a bit dodgy. It seems to do half-hour intervals. So yeah, after half an hour, after being told these are the new rules laid out by Zephron, he can't kill Zephron, because if he dies, then he dies, because he's linked self-destruct mechanisms in his own brain, in his own neural sensors, that should he die, Caraxes will self-destruct as well. this is again part of the I control you, you are now mine sort of thing. Part of his personality. And as well as that, Caraxus knows that to keep the Skitaria regiments unified and not going batshit berserk crazy and sort of random ass shit that they usually do when there is no leader around, he knows that Zephyron is the main head controller of the whole plan. However, this doesn't stop, what would you call it? Yeah, this doesn't stop Caraxus from resisting the Borg code, but it's an uphill struggle for him, because when Zephyron decrees it, he does his best to control him, and he succeeds him many times over. But there are a few occasions where Caraxus really does push up a fight, but that's an uphill struggle for him that's slowly getting nearer. And that's currently where I am with my background for the Dark Mechaniborg being aligned to the Night Lords. I thought it was something new. It's something that hasn't really been said in official canon. From my knowledge, is a Tech Magos trying to utterly control the soul of a demigod or a demigod like an Astartes. Never mind a soulless killing machine that is a Night Lord. So I thought that was just a nice change of pace anyway. That was the background of it. And that was the Dark Mechaniborg. So, again, loads of Borg-esque conversions, because Zephyron does have his little personal collection of things they shouldn't really be doing. Because techno-heresy and all that. And Night Lord's giant untrustworthiness of anything that looks demon. But again, they're not demon hunters. They do work around it. They're just not very pleased about it. Oh, so yeah, I don't really know what to talk about after that. Obviously, this is my first video like this. I know there was a lot of stuttering. I do apologise for this, but again, I am trying to multitask, and again, as I'll say, and I will never rephrase this better enough, it's like trying to teach a train to fly. I'm trying, but this is a first attempt, and I want to experiment because I got a new memory card for my phone to provide longer videos. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you wanted us to talk about any topics in specific, be it gaming related or otherwise, then please put a comment below. If you want to talk anything about what I've said in this video, then please don't hesitate to comment again. If you liked what you saw, you think this series shows promise, then please just head up and just give it a like. And if you want to see more videos like this and more videos about the games that I have talked about and projects that are upcoming, then please don't hesitate to click the subscribe button. This is the Warp Forge signing out, and remember, keep on forging. Oh.